Hi, and welcome to the Bottom Culture Club. I am your host, Aletha, and I'm back today with another pick of the shelf. Today I came in and picked up the text by Zora Neale Hurston, Their Eyes Were Watching God. Okay. If you are unfamiliar, Zora Neale Hurston is the blueprint. She may very well be your favorite author's favorite author. Okay. The text, Their Eyes Are Watching God, one of the banned books. Also a very important piece to the culture. I opened up to page 84, and at this particular point in the book, the main character, Janie, is anticipating the death of her second husband, Jody. So those of you who may be familiar with the story, I think you know exactly what's going on at this particular point. And I felt like it was very appropriate as we are stepping into the spring equinox, coming out of winter. Winter a lot of times represents death, and that's one of the themes in this text. Moving into spring, which is that rebirth period, okay? So page 84, it begins. So Janie began to think of death. Death, that strange being with the huge square toes who lived way in the west. The great one who lived in the straight house like a platform without sides to it and without a roof. What need has death for a cover, and what winds can blow against him? He stands in his high house that overlooks the world, stands watchful and motionless all day with his sword drawn back, waiting for the messenger to bid him come. Been standing there before there was a where or a when or a then. She was liable to find a feather from his wings lying in her yard any day now. She was sad and afraid too. Poor Jody. He ought not to have to wrestle in there by himself. She sent Sam in to suggest a visit, but Jody said no. These medical doctors was all right with the godly sick, but they didn't know a thing about a case like his. He'd be all right just as soon as the two-headed man found what had been buried against him. He wasn't going to die at all. That was what he thought, but Sam told her different, so she knew. And then if he hadn't, the next morning she was bound to know. For people began to gather in the big yard under the palm and chinaberry trees. People who would not have dared to foot the place before crept in and did not come to the house. Just squatted under the trees and waited. Rumor that wingless bird had shadowed over the town. She got up that morning with the firm determination to go on in there and have a good talk with Jody. But she sat a long time with the walls creeping in on her. 4 walls squeezing her breath out. Fear lest he depart while she sat trembling upstairs nerved her, and she was inside the room before she caught her breath. She didn't make the cheerful, casual start that she had thought out. Something stood like an oxen's foot on her tongue, and then, too, Joe, gave her a ferocious look. A look with all the unthinkable coldness of outer space. She must talk to a man who was 10 immensities away. All right, we'll close it there. Quick, short, but sweet pick of the shelf. Queen Mother Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. Thank you so much for joining me. Check back for another pick of the shelf. This week, as we move into April, National Poetry Month, I'll be pulling and reading much more poetry. Okay, look forward to seeing you then.